Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of From the Pastor's Desk. I'm Carlos Corrado, just a simple preacher. Today, we'll explore the story of Zacchaeus, a tax collector who was eager to see Jesus. Now, this story is found in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 19, verses 1 to 10. Let us read it. Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through. A man was there by the name of Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector, and he was wealthy. He wanted to see who Jesus was, but because he was short, he could not see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore fig tree to see him, since Jesus was coming that way. When Jesus reached the spot, he looked up and said to him, "Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today." So he came down at once and welcomed him gladly. All the people saw this and began to mutter, "He has gone to be the guest of a sinner." But Zacchaeus stood up and said to the Lord, "Look, Lord, here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor. If I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount." Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house, because this man too is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost." Now, Zacchaeus was a chief tax collector, known for collecting taxes from his fellow Jews on behalf of the Roman Empire. Tax collectors were often viewed with suspicion and disdain because they were seen as collaborators with the Roman authorities and were known to cheat people by overcharging taxes. Now, despite his wealth and position, Zacchaeus was curious about Jesus and eager to see him. He wanted to see who Jesus was. Luke chapter 19, verse 3. He was curious about Jesus' teachings and his mission. Zacchaeus' eagerness to see Jesus was driven by his desire for spiritual fulfillment and his need for forgiveness. As a tax collector, Zacchaeus had likely accumulated wealth through dishonest means, and he may have been or felt guilty and ashamed for his past actions. So Zacchaeus was faced with several obstacles in his quest to see Jesus. Now, he was short, like me perhaps, or perhaps even shorter. The crowd was large, making it difficult for him to get a glimpse of who Jesus was. However, Zacchaeus was determined to see Jesus, and the Bible says that he ran ahead and climbed a sycamore fig tree to see him, since Jesus was coming that way. And we'll read this in verse 4. When Jesus saw Zacchaeus in the tree, he called out to him and said, "Hey, you there! Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today." We read that in verse 5. Jesus' response to Zacchaeus was unexpected, given that Zacchaeus' reputation as a tax collector was well known, not in good terms perhaps. However, Jesus saw beyond Zacchaeus' occupation and the things that he had done, and recognized his genuine desire to meet him. After Zacchaeus welcomed Jesus into his home, he was transformed. He promised to give half of his possessions to the poor and to repay anyone he had cheated 4 times the amount he had taken. Now, this was a transformation of the result of his encounter with Jesus, and it demonstrates the power of Jesus' teachings to change lives. So the question is, why was Zacchaeus so eager to see Jesus? Zacchaeus was eager to see Jesus because he was drawn to Jesus' message of forgiveness and redemption. He was tired of living a life of sin and wanted to experience the freedom and joy that came from following Jesus. Zacchaeus' story shows us that no one is beyond the reach of God's love and forgiveness, and that Jesus is always willing to reach out to those who are seeking him. In conclusion, Zacchaeus' story teaches us about the importance of seeking Jesus with humility and determination. So it is my prayer that we, like Zacchaeus, be eager to seek Jesus and follow him with all of our hearts. So may Zacchaeus' story inspire you and I to seek Jesus with humility and determination. I'm Carlos Corrado, just a simple preacher, and this was another episode of From the Pastor's Desk. See you next time. May God bless you.